Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today 21Shares XRP ETF TOXR just filed an 8K report and I am seeing a significant shift in their underlying benchmark. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. They are changing the data source that determines the value of the ETF and it comes at an interesting time. Alright, so this is a Form 8K filing from 21Shares XRP ETF. This form is used when a company has a big event to announce. And for this ETF, the big event is a change in how they calculate the value of their shares. The company behind the ETF 21Shares US LLC, which they call the sponsor, has entered into a new agreement. This is a licensing agreement with a company called FTSE International Limited, or FTSE for short. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, they were previously using a benchmark called the CME CF XRP dollar reference rate. But as of the 31st of August, they are switching away from that. The reason for the switch is that their old agreement with CF Benchmarks Limited is ending. So, what does this new agreement with FTSE mean? FTSE will provide the ETF and its affiliates with a license to use something called the FTSE XRP Index. This index will become the new pricing benchmark. Starting on the 27th of August, the ETF will use this new FTSE XRP Index to figure out the value of its shares, also known as its net asset value. This new license is set for 1 year and will automatically renew unless it is terminated. FTSE is based in London and they have experience in calculating digital asset indices. Importantly, they are not affiliated with the sponsor. This suggests a move towards a more independent or perhaps a more established benchmark provider for the ETF. But that is not the only change. There is also an amendment to the sponsor agreement. This amendment changes how the sponsor gets paid for its services. Previously, the sponsor fee was paid weekly. Now it will be paid at least quarterly. And here is an interesting detail. These payments will be made in XRP, so not only is the benchmark changing, but the payment structure for the company managing the ETF is also being adjusted, and they will be receiving XRP directly. You know, keeping up with these kinds of filings can be a full-time job. That is why I rely on Decoder.report. It distills complex filings like this one into easy-to-understand risk assessments. Red flag scans with citations straight from the document and tracks share dilution over time. You can see exactly how the company stacks up on a risk index and get an overall screening verdict. The direct link is in the description and the pinned comment, and it works through Telegram to keep you updated. These changes to the benchmark and the sponsor fee are also reflected in the trust agreement. The agreement has been amended to reflect the shift to the FTSE XRP index, the change in the sponsor fee payment timing, and some other minor technical updates. The filing notes that these other revisions do not materially impact the rights of the trust or its shareholders. Looking at the exhibits, we see the 4th amended and restated trust agreement dated the 26th of August 2026. This is the document that formalizes these changes. We also have the benchmark licensing agreement and amendment number 1 to the sponsor agreement. It is interesting to see these adjustments happening. The 21Shares XRP ETF or TOXR has seen some volatility recently. News headlines from August of 2026 mentioned its net asset value halving and a significant loss of assets due to redemptions, this kind of filing, switching benchmarks and altering payment structures. Often happens when a company is trying to navigate market conditions or perhaps find a more stable or cost-effective operating model. The shift to the FTSE XRP index could be an attempt to align with a benchmark that is perceived as more robust or widely accepted. Given the recent news about the ETF losing assets, this move might be a strategic effort to stabilize or improve its appeal to investors. Changing the sponsor fee payment to XRP is also a notable point. It directly ties the management compensation to the performance or holdings of the underlying asset, XRP. This can sometimes align the incentives of the sponsor with the asset itself, though it also introduces currency risk if the sponsor needs to convert XRP to fiat for its operations. Ultimately, this filing signals a significant operational change for the 21Shares XRP ETF. They are changing the fundamental data source for valuing the fund and adjusting how the management company is compensated. It is a move that investors in the ETF will want to keep a close eye on, especially in light of recent performance challenges. The risk I am watching is how the market will react to this new benchmark and whether it will lead to increased stability or further investor concerns. What I'm actually looking for is how this FTSE XRP index performs compared to the old one, and if it truly offers a better reflection of XRP's value. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like this video, subscribe for more, and join our Discord community linked in the description.